What if I told you there's one single certification that could kickstart your career in the cloud, even if you have like zero tech experience? Well, today, that's exactly what we're breaking down. We're looking at the starting line, the Microsoft Azure Fundamentals certification, also known as the AZ-900.
Okay, let's just set the stage here for a second. Microsoft Azure is a beast. It's the #2 cloud provider on the entire planet. Now, what does that actually mean for you? It means that countless companies, from the tiniest startups to the huge Fortune 500s, are running on Azure. And they are all looking for people who know this stuff.
But let's be honest, Azure is massive, and that can be pretty intimidating, right? We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of different services for everything from basic file storage to really complex artificial intelligence. So if you're new to all this, it's super easy to feel completely lost. The big question is, where do you even begin? And that's exactly why Microsoft created a very clear path. The answer is right here, the AZ-900. Think of it as the official on-ramp, you know? It's designed specifically to take you from knowing nothing to really truly understanding the whole Azure ecosystem. So what's the real value of an entry-level certification like this? I mean, it's all about building that solid foundation. Let's really dig into who this is for and why it's such a game-changing first move. And this is what's so cool about the AZ-900. You might think it's just for people who are brand new to tech, and yeah, it's perfect for them, but it's so much bigger than that. Imagine you're in sales and all of a sudden you can confidently talk about the tech and the cost savings of Azure with a client. Or maybe you're a manager and now you can actually make smart decisions about your company's cloud strategy. That's the power it gives you, no matter what your job title is. This quote from Andrew Brown absolutely nails it. The AZ-900 gives you that bird's eye view. It's not about becoming an expert in one tiny little service. It's about seeing the whole landscape, understanding what the big services are, how they all fit together, and what problems they're actually built to solve. Oh, and here's a huge, huge bonus that a lot of people miss. Most of the more advanced tech certifications, they expire. You have to renew them every year or two. But Microsoft's fundamental certs, like the AZ-900, nope. You earn it once and it stays on your resume for good. That's awesome. All right, so what are these core concepts that you're actually going to learn? Let's take a quick look, because this exam isn't just about memorizing names. It's about getting the big ideas that basically run the internet today. And it all starts with this. Cloud computing, at its heart, is super simple. It just means you stop running your own physical servers in some back room or closet, and instead you rent computing power from someone else's giant global network of servers, in this case, Microsoft's. And this right here, this is probably the biggest financial reason companies move to the cloud. In the old days, you had what's called capital expenditure, or CapEx. Think of it like buying a house. You pay a huge amount of money up front. The cloud flips that on its head. It becomes an operational expenditure, or OpEx. This is more like renting an apartment. You just pay as you go, only for what you actually use. For businesses, this is absolutely revolutionary. You'll also learn the many ways to deploy on the cloud. A public cloud, like Azure, is kind of like living in a big apartment building. You get all the amenities, and you share the overall cost with thousands of other tenants. A private cloud, on the other hand, is like owning your own house. You have total control, but you're also paying for everything, the mortgage, the repairs, all of it. Now pay attention, because this concept is one of the most important things on the whole exam. Let's use a pizza analogy. Infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, is like buying all the pizza ingredients yourself and using your own kitchen to bake it. You manage a lot of the process. Platform as a service, or PaaS, is like ordering a pizza for delivery. They make it, they bake it, they bring it to you. All you have to do is handle the eating. And finally, software as a service, or SaaS, that's like just going out to a pizza restaurant. You manage nothing. You just show up and enjoy the pizza. Okay, so you get the big ideas. But what about the actual test? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the nitty-gritty of what taking the AZ-900 exam really feels like. The exam's broken down into 3 main sections. And you can see here, the biggest piece of the pie, about 35 to 40%, is all about understanding Azure's actual services and architecture. The other 2 big chunks cover those cloud concepts we just talked about, and then all the tools you use to manage everything inside Azure. And here it is, the magic number. The exam is scored out of 1,000 points. You need a 700 to pass. It's a nice, clear target to keep in mind while you're studying. So what's it like on test day? Well, you'll have 45 minutes to answer somewhere between 35 and 50 questions. And it's not just going to be simple multiple choice. You'll see different types, like drag and drop questions, which are actually kind of fun. And the best part? You can take it from the comfort of your own home online,
or go to a local testing center if you prefer. So let's step back. Why does any of this matter? Why put in the effort? Well, it's because the AZ-900 isn't just a piece of paper. It is the first step on a very real and very valuable career path.
A really common path looks just like this. You start with the AZ-900 to get that big picture view. Then you might decide to specialize with an associate-level cert, like the AZ-104 for administrators, which is way more hands-on. And from there, you can climb even higher to an expert-level role like a solutions architect. See, the AZ-900 is literally the launchpad for all of these amazing roles.
Look, getting into the world of cloud computing can feel super complicated from the outside, but every single expert out there had to start somewhere. The AZ-900 gives you a clear, official, and really valuable starting line into one of the most important fields in technology today. You've seen the map, you know where the path begins, so the only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?